And our top focus this evening, the Bharatiya Janata Party goes into poll mode. A mega national executive meet was held by the Saffron Party at the NDMC Convention Centre in Delhi. BJP President JP Nadda chaired the key high-level meeting and Prime Minister Narendra Modi delivered the concluding remarks. The meeting comes against the backdrop of Bypolls in which the BJP got a mixed bag of results. The mega meet is being seen as a brainstorming session to chalk out the roadmap for polls that are going to be held in 5 states next year. Kamaljeet Sandhu brings you our top story. BJP going into formal poll mode. With the electoral battle for 5 states looming in 2022, the Saffron Party launched its biggest brainstorming session, led by its biggest star, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, at the first in-person national executive meet post-COVID. Modi setting BJP an ambitious target, lauding it for the service during the pandemic fight, and stressing that BJP is not centered around any family, but reaching the pinnacle with its people connect and service, stressing that only working among the people can bring fulfillment.
पंजाब के पार्टी के प्रदेश अध्यक्ष जी के द्वारा आने वाले समय में भारतीय जनता पार्टी पंजाब में सभी सीटों पर चुनाव लड़ेगी, इस तैयारी के साथ सारे विषयों को वहां पर रखा गया। भारतीय जनता पार्टी कोई परिवार आधारित पार्टी नहीं है। पार्टी जिन वैल्यूज को लेकर चली है उसमें सेवा, संकल्प और समर्पण से जुड़कर पार्टी की ये जो परंपराएं हैं, इन परंपराओं को आगे बढ़ाते हुए और पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं की कड़ी मेहनत और परिश्रम के कारण हम आगे बढ़े हैं। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अपने बहुत प्रेरक और महत्वपूर्ण संदेश में आने वाले समय में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की कार्यनीति को बनाने के लिए एक बड़ा मंत्र सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को दिया, Become a bridge of faith for common man.
BJP President JP Nadda chaired the key high-level meet. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Home Minister Amit Shah, Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman were among the attendees. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath was the only Chief Minister of BJP-ruled states who was present at the meeting. Others joined via video links. Job generation, handling of COVID-19 pandemic, free ration for poor and India's 100 crore vaccination milestone will be trump cards in BJP's poll push and expansion plan.
First thing, of course, was how India's image abroad has been established through the way in which the vaccination program has been run in this country. So, in a very methodical fashion, the vaccination has been conducted that has built India's image abroad when there were calls within this country of opposition party.
देश में 10,40,000 पोलिंग स्टेशन है। पार्टी की राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष ने आज लक्ष्य दिया 25 दिसंबर 2021 के अंदर देश की 10,40,000 बूथ को पूरा बना लिया जाएगा। लगभग 85% बूथ बन चुके हैं देश में, बाकी जो 15% बूथ बचे हैं वो बना लिया जाएगा।
The Congress called the BJP huddle a knee-jerk reaction to an all-round failure.
अब इन्हें चिंता करनी चाहिए। चिंता इसलिए करनी चाहिए, 3-4 साल से मुद्रा करते रहे, बताएं आज मुद्रा का आंकड़े साझा करें। बेरोजगारी क्यों बढ़ गई, भूखमरी क्यों बढ़ गई, हंगर इंडेक्स में हम नीचे और लुढ़क क्यों गए?
Bypoll results have brought a mixed bag for the Saffron Party. It lost out in Himachal Pradesh while maintaining a tight grip on Assam and Madhya Pradesh. And it may be time for a fresh dose of populism for the BJP, which started with a big cut in excise duty on petrol and diesel.
Over first 6 hours of the BJP National Executive Meet saw concluding remarks coming in from Prime Minister, who said work is worship. And this is where the service of the BJP workers is required. India has seen a tough period, whether it's financial, economic, or for that matter, a health infrastructure. But now is a time where things could even get tougher, especially in times of assembly polls where 5 states goes to the polls. And this is where the service of BJP workers would be required further. With camera person Ajay Thakur, this is Kamaljeet Sandhu in Delhi for India Today.
Joining me this evening are Anand Madhav, spokesperson for the Congress Party, and Tom Vadakan, spokesperson for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Thank you so much both for joining us. Mr. Vadakan, I'll come across to you first. Given that the BJP, of course, the National Executive Meeting focused primarily on the 5 poll-bound states of early 2022 and the party strategy going ahead, is this because you're a little worried given the Bypoll results recently of 3 Lok Sabha seats and 29 assembly seats, which threw up a mixed bag of sorts in terms of results for the Bharatiya Janata Party?
Well, that is one way of reporting. The reality was I was there inside the meeting, and what happened was there was talk about our achievement on COVID and the vaccination campaign that ran, and we have crossed the 100 crore mark. Now, the point is that we discussed a lot of things. Amongst them, there were these things which you are mentioning. But the reality is, we talked about COVID, we talked about the roadmap for the future, which was also, and then there was a political resolution, which talked in depth across the board. And that was the main focus. The COVID, there were people supporting the resolution. Then there was some of them suggested amendments, which were, as any democratic party, that was accepted. And then we talked about what's our next agenda. Naturally,
but you did also speak about the 5 poll-bound states as well, and your party's strategy about it, because that was, of course, what was briefed by your party leaders later in press conferences to the media persons who were present at the NDMC Convention Centre. So sticking to that subject of the 5 assembly polls, is the BJP worried? My question again, is the BJP worried after the recent Bypoll results of the 3 Lok Sabha seats and 29 assembly seats?
Not at all. We are confident of what we have achieved, and we are confident on the way ahead. Any political party has to have a roadmap of what they have achieved. We got a report from all the state centers. The president of the BJP from the state spoke, and then there was, wherever there's a government, the chief minister spoke of what they intend to do and what not intend to do, what they have done, their achievements. And well, what has been followed up as part of the manifesto promises, that is, I think, a blueprint on what is. It is for us further to analyze what has to be done. That strategy to be done, what is to be done, and achievement, that's a matter which I think nobody will speak on except the core committees, because that is strategy.
Does that entail populist measures as well? Because that is the criticism coming in from the opposition, that the fact that the centre went in to reduce the excise duty on petrol and diesel on the eve of Diwali is something which was a demand from the people. People were angry about it for a very, very long time. Suddenly, they go in to do that. It's only because the Bypoll results were a little bit of a jolt for the BJP, and finally, they could hear what the people were telling them from the ground.
I'll ask you a counter question. Today, Punjab went into reducing prices of petrol, the VAT prices on petrol. Were they scared of the elections? No, there's a measure that was taken. I am not prejudging them. This was a measure that was done in due time, because oil prices are based on international prices. And then there was some shuffling around. It has nothing to do with the poll or elections. Anything we do is, well, you know, it's election campaign. They're reducing it for the elections. But this is not about elections only in 3-4 states. This is about across the country.
Right. So this is not about elections. This has got nothing to do with trying to sort of, make some sort of course correction as a result of the Bypoll results. Mr. Annamalai, that is what the BJP is saying. Your party's criticism has constantly been that this move was aimed at trying to sort of fix what appeared to have gone wrong for the BJP, because very crucial state elections are staring them in the face right now.
In fact, you will realize that from the very first day BJP when came into the power, they are into the election mode from the very first day and today. So it's not new that today they are planning the strategy for the election in the next 5 states where the poll is going to take place.
That's fair. That's fair. They can keep strategizing and planning, right?
Yeah, this is about this by-election. By-election is a wake-up call for them. And please note it what I am saying today. Very soon you will realize and you will see that the two of the chief minister is taking the back seats. That's the Himachal Pradesh and maybe the Karnataka also, because of the result. It's and as you have seen that Himachal Pradesh chief minister has categorically stated that this inflation has killed us, and this inflation will kill the Bharatiya Janata Party entire country in the forthcoming state. My friend from the BJP was talking about the achievement in the COVID, which they have discussed in today's meeting. But the truth is that the world has seen what this during the COVID that India has faced. The petrol price and diesel price, they have reduced by increasing the 28 rupees and 26 rupees. They have reduced it by 10 rupees and 5 rupees. Really, they want to do some good for the people. They can match the rate of May 2014 when that time the crude oil rate was 105 and 71 for a barrel.
Mr. Barakan, would you like to respond to that? Would you like to respond to that, Mr. Barakan?
You see, all this money that was spent during the COVID-19 didn't come from the Congress's coffer. This had to be collected. These are times where development had to be focused. We maintained our dignity by not going with a begging bowl to any international community. We created our own, self-sufficient situation, PPE kits, whether it's a ventilator or what have you. These are things that we didn't go asking for all this. Then the vaccinations was a little delayed. The Congress party was shouting from rooftops, where's the vaccine? Now when 100 crore is completed, they're silent on it. Silence of the tomb. And now the point here is, anything you do or not do, this becomes an issue. Now prices of petrol have been reduced. Tell me why are they not, now of course Punjab has realized that they have to do it. Elections or no elections. But what about the other states?
What about the other states, Mr. Madhav? What about the other states? Why aren't your other Congress-ruled states?
VAT in BJP-ruled state was already very higher. What they have, there was the room to reduce it. But in the Congress-led, even the Congress-led, the government is not getting their GST share. So where is the money with the state government? And even then they have tried. In August, Tamil Nadu has already reduced 3 rupees.
Okay, so gentlemen, I have very little time left on this debate right now. Quickly, I'll come across to you, Madhav, Mr. Madhav, so that you can make your comments. While the Congress is, of course, smarting off the kind of upset that it, put across to the BJP in Himachal Pradesh. Himachal sends only 4 MPs to Parliament. Uttar Pradesh sends 80 MPs to Parliament. Do you really think you're ready for 2024?
Yeah, of course, we are ready. People are ready for 2024. It's not that we are only ready for the 2024. The people are ready for the 2024 and they are looking it from their naked eyes. The kind of rule, the misrule is being in this entire India. So it's very clear that where the mandate is going to take place. And every day what they are talking, they are just talking about the elections. The Prime Minister recently talked about this the achievement in COVID. At the same time, they have also talked the work is worship. They should worship the people, not the work. What you
Mr. Barakan, would you like to come in on that finally? Would you like to come in on that? That you should worship the people as well. The Bypoll results have told you that the people probably could in fact deal you and upset anywhere, and that is exactly what you need to take on board. If at all the BJP is eyeing 2024, that is a huge challenge.
It's no challenge at all. The people have accepted us. The people, we worship the people. Now ask them if they do. Where is the young man, the former president, is worshipping from London? I mean, that's very surprising. Indian people need people who are working at the ground, not somebody sitting in London and running the Twitter. Point is, it's all very well said, worship the people. We are with the people. That's why we are there. Our existence is on the people. We don't have to go on the rooftop saying we are worshipping. We are the people of India. And this gentleman talks about Twitter from London. I'm sorry. When the petrol prices were reduced, this gentleman was on the flight. And then no word from his sister says, well, you know, they are scared. And that's why the petrol prices came down. Come on, give us a break. Why should we be scared?
Why should they be scared, Mr. Madhav?
Yeah. In fact, they should also realize the accidental deaths and the suicidal deaths increased in India by so many times. Just from 2014 to 2020, it has come to 9,82,875. This is the figure. So
right.
If the farmers are going for the suicide, they are not ready to listen to the farmers. They are sitting on these 3 bills.
Right. Ultimately, it will be the people. Ultimately, it will be the people who will say and who will judge as to who will be in power or continues to be in power. So we'll find that out very, very soon, especially in those 5 assembly elections that are to happen in early 2022. Extremely crucial, especially the state of Uttar Pradesh. Mr. Madhav and Mr. Vadakan, thank you so much for joining us on this debate. That's all.